Welcome back to the Lovely Podcast. We have on today a couple that's near and dear to my heart, for sure. My boy Ronnie and his girl Rebecca.
Not the sound effects.
For the win.
We'd like to welcome you guys. Hi, welcome.
How's everybody doing?
Oh,
Good. So we're going to kick things off. How did y'all...
wait.
What?
We got to start on how you... We start off with how
You're
you know,
right.
how we know each other.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
So I know Ronnie from Slippery Rock, and at the time that this will go out, it'll be post homecoming. So we'll see each other in a couple weeks for homecoming. Probably it might go out during homecoming weekend.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I met Ronnie at Slippery Rock. Fall of 2013. He was a freshman. I was a transfer, and we just hit it off from there and stayed real close, stayed tight. Went to a bunch of like events together, hung out with the same group of people. So, and then towards the end of our time there, we ended up becoming roommates in an apartment off campus. So those were some fun times, some rough times. Try to get food, having to go to McDonald's with Jig to get some food. But yeah, so that's how I know Ronnie. And I think towards the end of our time at Slippery Rock, that's when Rebecca started coming into the picture. And Rebecca, we had seen Rebecca on campus. I think all 4 years I was there, I had seen her just in passing.
Yeah. Remember you saying that?
Yeah. And then she just started popping up a little bit more. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is real. This is getting serious. And then it started getting real serious.
Yeah.
And now it's really.
Now it's real serious.
Really serious.
I'm crying.
I had to deal with Ronnie because Adam and him were a package deal. So once I got Adam, then Ronnie was just there. So that's kind of how I met him. And yeah, so that's how that was. And then like later on within our years, that's when I finally met Rebecca, because I just remember, I think Ronnie had told us that he had a girlfriend and was like, oh yeah, you guys got to meet her, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, okay, got you. And so then we met Rebecca, and yes, this has been, how long have you guys been together?
Since 2018. So
yeah, we've known each other since 2018, and I kind of like when we started, like when we first met, we kind of like started like talking off like the jump. So
yeah, so
there we go. So y'all,
I would say like anniversary wise, like we're going on 4 years.
Right.
Okay. Nice. Okay, got it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's
you got it. You know.
Yeah, so they're not too far behind us, but we've been together for 5 or 6 years.
About six going on 7. Yeah.
2. Yeah. So pretty right behind us. So it was, yeah. When I knew Ronnie was serious when he kept talking about Rebecca.
Yeah.
And just was like, oh, y'all gotta meet her. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta meet her. It's like, okay, if you want all of us to meet her, we know she's special. But we want to hear from y'all. How did you two meet?
You want me to start?
I mean, I'll start it because you never tell your full point.
This is how I think of it. Actually, I would see you and Ronnie like frequently, like on campus. Like everybody knows, Ron was everywhere at Slippery Rock. And one night we went to an event. Like my friend like drugged me to this event, and it was interracial dating. And I was like, well, I don't date, like, why am I going to the event? But she's like, please go along with me. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you. So Adam and Ronnie was there. And again, like, we were just like, we thought it was funny. Like, just like the topics and things like that. I feel like Ron talked a lot about at the event. And then after that, a mutual friend was like, hey, like, my friend wants to get to know you. And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of like doing my own thing at the time. And then like my best friend to this day, like she like instigated a little bit more than I knew of at the time. And she was like talking to one of Ron's friends at the time. And she's like, yeah, like this guy really wants to get to know you. And then eventually we finally exchanged numbers. And then the rest is history. You want to say your side of it?
That's not how I remember.
Oh, goodness.
So what happened was, I seen her walking around campus because at this time, me and Adam were on our way out of Slippery Rock. And you were a sophomore? Were you a sophomore?
No, I was a freshman.
No, she was a freshman at the time. So me and Adam's on the way out. So I just seen her walking in on the main part of the campus, right in the quad in Slippery Rock. So then I was like, who is she? Like, I need to know who she is. And then there's one girl, her name was Mo. I seen that she was hanging out with her the one day, and I just asked Mo, I'm like, yo, who is that? And so then Mo she started pointing her little ear in there to get me in the door. At first she wasn't interested, and then her other friend, Chloe, she was messing with somebody I was cool with at the time, or talking to him, whatever they were doing, and it went on from there. She started playing like devil's advocate in her ear, telling her everything that sounded good to get me more in the door. I DM'd her, and Adam knows I don't DM nobody. I was bougie. I did not think I needed to do any type of DMing.
I forgot about that.
And she was giving me dry responses, and then somehow, some way, I made her come because I worked at this desk up in Slippery Rock. And somehow, some way, I made her or asked her to come up to see me while I was sitting there working. And she ended up where the desk was. It was like an information desk so people could come up. And there was like 4 seats, maybe like 20 steps away. She sat at those chairs while I had to sit behind the desk. And we were basically like yelling at each other, like talking to each other, kind of. So that's how it all started off from there.
Can I share something else?
What? Go ahead.
Oh, I actually seen him before he seen me, but I told him, like, I'm going to share actually the first time I ever saw you, like, on our wedding day. He doesn't believe me, but I'm like, I literally, like, I can tell you the first time I ever laid eyes on you. He's like, I definitely seen you beforehand. I was like, I will tell us on a special day.
No, she didn't. No, she
didn't. I did. I'm just saving it.
Was it love at first sight, Rebecca?
Absolutely. I'm gonna like say, like, I'm literally telling him, like, it's in like wedding, when that time comes around, wedding vows, like literally like the day that I first seen him. And I don't know if he's seen me, but
so that's interesting. So Rebecca's similar to me when it came to when I saw you.
Yeah.
And I followed her for 2 years.
Oh my God.
On Instagram.
Wait, okay, I thought.
Oh, you were like stalking me? No, I don't think we would have been here if he was stalking me.
This is not you on Netflix.
Netflix.
I followed her for 2 years on Instagram, and I didn't like a single photo or comment on a single photo the entire time.
But I didn't know the man existed.
But we knew of each other because of Kappa, because my chapter knew the chapter at your school, so we had mutual friends, but we would never be in the same place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The entire 2 years after I crossed, and then we followed each other.
Yeah.
And then I shot my shot after that, but I knew something that she didn't know, and I was like, I gotta take that shot.
Okay. But mind you, I was in a relationship most of the time, so I'm just like, sir, like.
Yeah, you were in a relationship with Little Ugly Dude. I was in a relationship with I call all of her old boyfriends, I call them Little Ugly Dudes. Like they got numbers at this point.
Wow. Little Ugly Dude number 1.
Oh.
2.
So I'll be like, which Little Ugly Dude? The one with the dreads or the one with
Adam, you're doing too much stuff. Now you putting descriptions out. This is bad.
Is this my podcast or what?
This is so bad because the people that are gonna listen to it that know me know who he's talking about. So it's like,
that's fine. They ain't got to do like the whole Risa Tisa searching for him. You know?
I can't. But yeah. So anyway, so it looks like, Ronnie, you got what you had coming for you because the fact. What were you saying? You said when you messaged her, she was dry texting you back.
Absolutely.
But that's how I am with anybody. Like, I didn't, at this point, I didn't even know him. Like, there's one thing if I knew him and I'm like, oh, that's my buddy, or you know what I mean? I know him from class, but I didn't know him at all.
Well, clearly, I mean, he didn't take it to offense because he stayed. So obviously, you weren't trying to give up, right?
To be fair, it wasn't just that he didn't like to DM people or DM girls. Ronnie's phone, anytime you would pick it up and look at his messages, he averaged over 200 messages unread.
It's giving light skin.
It's giving too many group messages. Like, it's still like that to this day. Like, I'll just be sitting here and I'll look at my phone and it'll say 149 messages. Like, why is there 149 messages that I have to
I don't know, Ronnie. Why is there 149 messages?
Because I'm in multiple group message for just friends, and then I'm in the group message with Bum and BB. I got multiple softball group messages.
If you would just open it, they'll go away.
See, I don't believe it because people don't shut up.
Messages have like 15 people in them.
Yeah, there's massive.
Like, every single group message has that many numbers. So,
like, she sees my
absolutely
phone,
not.
My boy was the king of, I'll hit you back. And then I know I'm not getting a call for days.
Yeah, you know what? What's so funny is that when we were just at George and Ashley's baby shower, what did Ronnie say to us? I'm going to call y'all. Have we gotten a call from Ronnie since?
First of all, wait. I have talked to Adam prior after that. I didn't call. I'm good for telling people I'm going to call and not call. However, I have been in contact with him.
You like that uncle that be like, yeah, I'm going to check in with you. I ain't heard from my uncle since.
Hey, listen, I'm good. Look, my softball buddy called me while I was working yesterday. I texted him like, bro, I'm going to hit you back. I ain't calling him yet.
I'm sure you haven't.
I ain't calling him yet.
I am almost positive you haven't. So, but this is great. So let's go ahead. So we're going to go ahead and ask a little bit of questions about the relationship now that we know how you guys kind of got together. What are some things that you guys do to keep it so fresh and exciting right now? Like, what's going on? What's hip happening?
Honestly, I think as like we could continue to grow and love each other, we find like different ways. So like last night, like she like helps she's a cheerleading coach for her high school. So like we don't get to see each other all the time because she has like long days and I work 2 jobs. So I was off yesterday for my second job, and when she came in, we were just like real goofy, like out of nowhere she started dancing and she said, now you go. And I was like, oh, we about to battle? So we had like a little dance battle, but it's never a dull moment, you know. It's always something actually you look forward to. Obviously, people going to, like, as you grow, you're going to get on your significant other's nerves. That's not even debatable. But it's like certain things we do, like we'll be like, what do we want to do to eat? We're going to go out to eat, or we'll cook for each other, like as you should. But like it's just those regular. We're going to sit down, watch movies, just talk, ask each other how our day went, just stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was so.
I just honestly think the presence. We've been living with each other for a year now, and it's just like really nice just like coming home, because it was like going back and forth when we didn't live together. It was like, oh, I only see you on Monday, Wednesday, like the weekend or whatever, just with our crazy schedules. But honestly, our favorite thing to do is just really like relax, like be in the house. We love to eat, so we're always eating something, but we really just have the time of our lives when it's just the two of us. Like we're starting to be very, very similar in a lot of ways, which I don't know if is a good thing or a bad thing.
So y'all are living together now.
I was about to ask.
Yeah. So we started living together not too long after we started dating.
Yes, we were shacking up.
Yeah, but what is your stance on the whole traditional versus non-traditional approach to relationships? Yeah. And then what was your parents' stance? Yes. I'll say that. What was each of you?
My parents, so we were actually supposed to live together a lot longer, like a while ago. But my parents are like very old school, but either way, like they will like support it, even they're just like, okay, like that's not, because my mom will say shacking up, like her and Ron had a conversation and everything too. But I think just knowing, like at the time, like my mom knew me, like she's just like, hey, like I'm telling you, Ron, like Rebecca can have her moments, like, you know what I mean? I just don't know if it's just there yet. And then also it was just like, when I moved to Pittsburgh, I was living by myself, and I feel like I really did need that because I learned a lot about myself. And at that time, like Ron was still living with his family, and I really, as much as Ron will say sometimes, he'd be like, I think your mom got in your head, but I was like, no, I said, I wanted you to have that opportunity to be like, I had my own space. I lived by myself before we was just like, you know, the minute you move out, you know what I mean, of your parents' house, we're jumping in like a house together. Like you're constantly always living with someone. But I'm still like very, very thankful that time that we didn't live together, and then it was like when it happened, it worked. Like we've been here for a year. We've honestly, this is probably the best we've been. You know, so
I would say when I first told her I'd live with her, I was still under my parents' roof. It was just like it was a nice suggestion, like, because like when you know, right? Like just like when you know you're going to marry someone, you know that's going to happen. Like when you know you live together, that's also like a big step. So like I knew since when did I move? When was I moving out? I was trying to first move out. When did you come to Pittsburgh and
that was 2021.
So when she first moved to Pittsburgh, I was looking at places, and then I came up with the idea of like I was ready to like leave the house, but like I want to start something more with her. So I was like, hey, if you just want to live together, we can do that. Her mom wasn't for it at all. And then it spiraled to the point of I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do what I got to do. And then from there, I ended up getting my own place. Adam's seen it before, but my parents, they were for it from the jump. They were since 2021. They're like, that's cool. I mean, how are you gonna know? How are you gonna know how someone is if you don't live with them, right?
Right.
Like, so they were like, again, they're much younger than her mother and father, and they were just like,
parents old.
I am. I'm sure I'm that old. But they were like how else can you actually figure out how someone is? Because just because we're together and like, yeah, we could go on cute dates and everything, and we could talk all day, but at the end of the day, you don't know how that person lives, or you don't know how y'all live together. Like that can make and break a relationship. So I feel like on the point of what she was saying, like she wanted me to get that type of, like, I guess, experience, you could say. I liked it and I didn't like it, only because it was like I don't like when people try to make decisions for me. Like don't try to force my hand, especially if you also want it to happen. And don't think you're doing it for what's better for me, when obviously I'm already, all my eggs are in that basket already of I'm ready for us to take that next step. But I mean, we're here now. It's been lovely. Obviously, like I said, relationships, you have your good days, your bad days. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
Some days you're gonna wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Don't matter who you are. So it's like I think this is probably the best we've been, all together. So it's been great.
So I do have a question, because like we said, we moved in with each other like right after when we started dating. We were younger, so I was maybe 22, 28 now, so it's about 22. So you guys are in the, well, I don't want to say you're old, but you're in the older side of moving in with each other. Do you feel that it's a lot different now that you're older versus like a couple like us? When we moved in, we were younger.
I would say, because honestly, like when we were younger, like not saying we acted like kids, but like now it's just like were so much more mature. Like, you know what I mean? Like things that, you know, like we might have like dealt with in the past. It's just like child like stuff. You know? Just because at that point it was just like, yeah, we're adults, but it's just like just dumb little things, I would say. You know what I mean? If we would like argue about when we were like younger, when we were in college. So I would say I feel like if we would have took that step, like say if, you know what I mean, I was a little bit older and I met Ron a couple years before than I actually did, I don't necessarily know if moving in would have been like any better, just with some of the like, just I would say communication, because that was like our biggest thing. Like year 1, year 2 was just communication.
Yeah.
I think I honestly don't know, because I feel like it's like a bunch of what ifs, you know? Like, what if we did move together, like when we were like let's say we moved together when she was like freshly 21, 22, and like, cause like we're like both, like me and Adam and like how y'all are, it's like we're relatively got like the same age gap.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know how it would have like panned out to be, but like I don't think it would have made a difference, because at that point you're living with someone. It's all the things that you were doing then, like being childish. If that was the case, if you're running these streets, you're outside every weekend. I feel like that would all obviously take a big halt, because it's like you have someone at home now. It's like there's no, like, y'all live together. It's y'all have to do for each other. So I don't know if it would have necessarily changed. But again, it's a bunch of what ifs. So I'm not that
right. You can't even go back to see what it would be like, because you're in the present now. So it is what
That's
it
what
is.
I'm saying. I can't really think about how it would actually be.
How much growing up did you feel you both did from where you started at to where you are now in your relationship for it to have been compatible to move in together?
I'll go first. This one.
Are you going for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we both grew up a lot. You know, and as days go on, we're still growing, you know. Again, no relationship is 100% perfect. Everybody can make it sound like it is, but it's not. But I feel like growing up on both ends, you know, because you have to find yourself. And when you find yourself, you could bring yourself to that person. You don't want to have that person change who you are, but you want that person to build you into what you guys should be together. It shouldn't be
Right.
I'm changing so I could satisfy who she is. I could still remain the same because that's what she fell in love with, or that's what she liked at first. But I feel like growing up on both ends, especially on my end as well, because I was going out all the time, but it wasn't like I'm going out looking for like another person. I'm going out. I was all of our friends, Adam could tell you, like, they like to go out, they like to drink, they like to have a good time. Like, of course, you like, it was basically like a fear of missing out. And like, you don't ever know when someone's last time here is, so you always want to go out and enjoy that time. So it was more of, I was young and I wanted to enjoy life. Being in Pittsburgh, it's obviously just like, I know you guys live out in an area that isn't also known statewide as the best place to be, but like but like, you know how PA could be. PA could be real iffy, so you don't ever know what can go on. But growing up for our relationship, I feel like it was, from where we started, we were so low to now we are probably exceeded a lot of expectations in just a short time that we've been together.
Got it. Yeah, remember we was talking about that night when we all went out and your gun got stolen out your car when we went out. I was like, Pittsburgh is just gutter.
Wonderful place, you know.
Real ghetto.
It's Disneyland. It's the best place on earth.
Yeah, right.
What's your take on that, Rebecca? Like, what do you feel like you guys grew?
I would just say, like, what 100% from the start to where we are now, like, I would give us like an A+. But something that I like really like noticed, like when Ron, like like my like early 20s, like that's when I was like, okay, like this is what adult life is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to balance things. I feel like now I'm like starting to understand, like when me and Ron first got together, he was like my age what I'm now. So it's like I can relate more because a lot of the stuff I didn't understand because I was just a college kid, you know, and he's out here in the real world. So it's like now part of it's like it feels like it's been hitting me the last like 2-3 years, and I'm like, okay, like I don't think I understood at the time. Like, yeah, it was like communication bad? Like, did we have like ups and downs? Yes, we did. But now it's like, okay, I completely get it. And like just trying to navigate a relationship, life, and on top of all of that, I was like, I feel like that's where I would give us like our most credit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like
I
now
don't think,
he's like,
yeah.
he gets it because he's like, yeah, like been there, like done that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, like days where I'm like having a bad day or just, you know what I mean, generally like a bad year or whatever. It's like he understands. He's like right there by my side because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
at that time he was like, that's kind of where I was at too. So
I was gonna say, I don't think a lot of people realize, even if the age difference isn't like by much, it still is kind of significant. And it's only like that because you have to think about that person was older than you is older than you. So yeah, they're gonna know a little bit more than what you know at that point in time. And it just doesn't seem like it's that much of an age difference. So what? I'm 28, you're 31. That doesn't seem that bad. But he's got me by miles on certain things. And it's like some things I was still learning and I'm looking at him like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
But he knows this stuff. Just like you said, like you were in college and he was out, he was in the real world. He's seen a lot of things. He understands a lot of things. He's worked in, you know, in jobs and stuff like that while you were still in college where you're just still in this little bubble. So that's like one thing that I agree with you on is like you grow up, like you're growing up together. And it's like they're watching you grow up and you're still learning stuff. They're teaching you stuff at the same time. And once you get to the age that they were when you met them, you're like, oh,
I get it, right?
okay, I get it now. I get why you were saying things like this. This makes so much sense now.
But on my side of it, being that I'm a few years ahead of you, there's stuff that, and I think Ronnie would agree to this. There's stuff that we're learning as well because you're coming into it with a different perspective
Yeah.
than what we were taught to come into it with.
Mhm.
So like we'll like kind of bite down on our mouthpiece and be like, all right, we're just gonna stomach through it. Like Ronnie and I have been through those days at school where it's just like we just gonna make it work. Like we just gonna do what we gotta do. We're in a bad spot, but we're just gonna keep pushing and keep thugging. That's it. Whereas when you have somebody else that you're in a relationship with and they're a little bit behind you, like yeah, we're gonna argue and stuff at times, and because you think of it one way, and then you get to it and you're like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna experience it like this, like you were saying it. But then I have to take a different approach to be a little bit more kind and to see your point of view is different, even though you're going through a similar struggle that I might have gone through. It's still significantly different how it's affecting you in the time period that it's in.
Absolutely.
So it's not gonna be solved the same way.
Right.
So now I gotta look at it in a new lens with new eyes. So
yeah.
I think
and it's a lot of learning on my end too.
I think also just for us men, because we get labeled as like we're hard headed. We're not really going to listen to what's going on. You could ask Rebecca. I took like like it's been like almost like 2 years, almost 2.5. I told her like I'm not going to argue with you. Like there's no point for me to argue with you because it's not settling nothing. Not saying she's an arguing person, but when you passionately feel about something, like you can't teach your partner what is actually one bothering you, what's frustrating you, and also what their point of view is. Because just because I see it one way doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
Right. And just because she sees it one way doesn't mean it's right. But at some point, like you have to be able to learn, you have to be able to adapt with your significant other because you're still trying to learn this person. I don't care how long you live together. I don't care how much and how long you've loved this person. You might know their little tweaks of what they like and what they enjoy, but
Yep.
she's growing every day. Something new is going to pop up. So I'm not going to continue to think my logical way of how I'm thinking. Sometimes, hey, you have to find out the hard way. I might say something, but you have to learn it. I might have been there at 26 and you're just learning about it. I can tell you what I learned, but you're not there. You need to learn the hard way. It's not because I want you to go that route. If I could stop you, I could protect whatever you got going on, I sure will. But as an adult, you have to be able to compromise with each other in a sense. You have to I don't want to say lower expectations, but like you have to actually be intrigued on what your significant other is actually talking about, how they feel, and get through those days. Because like I said, I'd rather talk about it. I'm not going to argue with you. If something frustrating you, please let me know. As I tell you, like, hey, is there an issue? Let me know. Or what? Or if something's bothering, hey, what's going on? She asks me every day, and it does annoy me. She knows this. She literally asks me every day. She goes, love, are you okay? Like, she might ask me about 5-6 times a day. And I just be like, yo, nothing changed from the past 5 minutes we've been sitting here. Nothing. We are sitting here watching the same TV show. Nothing is bothering me. Now something's bothering me. It's you. It's you. It's you. You're on my nerves.
Check on like, how are you? Like,
right. I'm just trying to see how you do, and I'm just trying to gauge.
Okay,
like she'll walk in the door and literally hit me with the "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm cool, I'm good." 5 minutes later, "Oh, how are you, dog? Do we have an issue?" Like, what is wrong with you? Do you want me to ask you how you are? I already did. What has changed within the past 5 minutes?
It's okay. She's just gauging you. I'll do it sometimes too. I just ask Adam, be like, "You okay? You good? You look like you got a little attitude, but are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "Why are you looking like that?" "I'm fine." Like, just gauging.
And I think that was the biggest leap that we took in our relationship, was understanding that, and Ronnie, you kind of hit on it, understanding that it's not about either of us being right. It's like, what's the right answer for the group? And then
we're not each other's enemies. The problem is the enemy.
Right. And when we figured that out, it was like an accelerated movement forward. Like, yeah, we'll still bicker and argue.
Oh, we
from
be
time to
bickering.
time. But at least we come back to that solid of, hey, hold on. The situation is getting the best of us. It's us against the situation, not the other way around, not us versus each other.
Well, see, now that you said that though, Ronnie, I need to ask you this. So you said that you stopped arguing. I'm shocked, first of all, because you're aren't you?
I am.
He just does it.
I don't argue. I'm not going to argue because it's not one. I don't argue with nobody. First of all, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with no grown man. I'm not arguing. Like, my mom gets me because it's my mom. But I'm not arguing with no siblings. I'm not arguing with her friends. I'm not arguing with nobody because, one, if I have to argue with you, there's no point that's going to be made here, because at this point it's going in one ear and not the other.
Yeah.
And I don't like to raise my blood pressure up, because it's getting to that point of now we're going one way, and the one way is not going to do no talking, and I don't want that. Like, it got to the point where, just going off of me and her, it got to the point where we're arguing and it's affecting our relationship. And it's going to the point where it's like, I'd rather just talk to you. Like, you can still be passionate in what you feel. Like, if you have to raise your voice a little bit to get a point across, cool. But let's not go any further than that, because then it's coming off as disrespect.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to argue with you because it's not beneficial for either one of us. Because I care that much about you that if I argue with you, I clearly don't care what is going on your point of view.
Yeah.
If I'm able to calm down and listen to what you're saying, then I can take it in and I can adapt. That's literally my approach. I literally don't argue with her. Like the other day we got in, like, she said something to me. She was mad early in the morning, and I just said, you know what? I don't know if I want to talk to you, because it's like just being completely honest. Because I'm like, there's just ways you have to go about things, right? Like, and like there's days like we need to like not like talk all day because like we're frustrated at each other. That's fine, but
he didn't like my tone,
Be-
so he can't.
I don't.
Wait. He was going to work, and again, I'm like just now waking up. I said, "Hey, what do you want for dinner?" Meanwhile, we like similar things.
So
but wrong. Wait.
No.
Wait.
I'm gonna let you finish. We eat similar things, but a lot of it's different.
It's different, right? So he says, "Surprise me," and I instantly get annoyed. You can see it, like hear it in my voice. I'm like, "No, I'm not surprising you. Tell me what you want, because we don't like." I was making shells probably for myself. Ron doesn't like that, so it's like, "What are you in the mood for?" Like, you know what I mean? Because things that I love, he doesn't like. So I said, "There's no surprise here."
So mind you, it's 9 a.m. Like, the sun just came up, dog. It's 9 a.m. I didn't really have to be at work till 1. I got there at 10 because I didn't feel like arguing or dealing with none of the negative energy that she was disputing into my day.
So I said there's no surprises in a rude way.
No, because 1, she knows what I'll eat and she knows what I like to eat. So there's ways she can maneuver this. So it was the simple fact that it was nice at first. She was like, "Babe, what do you want to eat?" Well, she didn't call me babe. She calls me love. She said, "Love." She said, "What do you want to eat?" Like, it's still half sleep. So, like, she's literally just getting up. And I said, I don't know. Just surprise me. Like, you know what I want to eat. Just surprise me. So then she goes, "Love, what do you want to eat?" At this point, like, she's still asleep, but she's getting mad. I can hear her tone. So then I said, "Just surprise me." And she goes, "Love, you're making me mad." So I said, whoa. Like, I said, whoa. I said, "You have a good day. Go do what you got to do. Have a great day." So at this point, like, I'm going to go get a shower. And then so I hear her footsteps. And I'm like, "Oh, well, she's up." So then I get out. I'm getting ready.
He's crying. Adam is over here crying.
So listen, wait. I'm not. Wait. Like, her tone was just unreal. So then I get out, and then she tried to, like, I don't know what was up with her, but she tried to flip the whole thing and try to put on this nice persona. She goes, "Hey, love," and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm in my head like, no, she didn't, just try to switch it up real quick. And I kept walking. I said, "You know what? I don't know if I want to talk to you today. I don't know. Because if you're waking up at 9 a.m. mad, you must have had some bad sleep. And I don't want nothing that's going on with that." But I told her, I was like, there's just ways you could talk to me. Like, I don't care how you talk to people outside. Like, you don't talk to your significant other like that, because you're not going to ruin my day because you want to wake up asking a question. I gave you an answer. That's what you're not going to do. So
saying have a good day before you take a shower.
What do you want?
That's crazy.
Saying have a good day before you take a shower is wild.
But my two things. Wait, first of all, we've got 2 big problems here. One, why are you asking this man at 9 a.m. what he wants for dinner?
Dog.
When dinner is at night. And 2, who in the world says surprise me for dinner?
Hold on. Time out.
You know what you want.
Wait, I don't know what I want. It's 9 a.m.
Well, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what you want because it's 9 a.m, Rebecca.
Hold on. Time out.
I don't know what I want.
I'm low key, and so I'm low key on Rebecca's side.
Wait, no, you gotta tell them. We argue about food quite often.
So in our premarital counseling,
this is real bad. This is how bad it is.
With our therapist, she gave us this system to use because a lot of our arguments would start from
like, what we eating for dinner.
What are we eating for dinner? Anisha's palate changes hour by hour. Okay, I'll just say it that way and be nice.
That's not true.
So when I ask, hey, what do you want for dinner? When I ask, what do you want for dinner? She'll say, oh, I'm not sure. What do you want? And then I'll start rifling off
you
answers.
gotta say it exactly how I say it too, because I know you're gonna do it.
Who's this sound like?
Listen.
Wait, so then she'll be like, I'll give her options. She'll be like, no, no. I stop at 3. I stop at 3 options. I stop at 3 options because she asked me, she's like, oh, I could eat whatever. So I'll give her those options. She says no to all 3 of them. I stop and I say, you know what? You don't know. So our therapist told us, when we get to that step of what do you want for dinner, Anisha is supposed to give me 3 options of where and what. Like if it's we're gonna eat out or whatever, give me where you want to go and what you want. If I'm like bringing
the full order,
the full order, and then I pick out of those 3, and that's your surprise.
And I would have been fine with 3, because usually we'll name off things, but a surprise, no, not when we don't eat the same thing.
So I can see why she got upset. I would have got upset.
I would have got pissed too.
Absolutely not.
I would have told you to have a good day, Ronnie.
Let me
go to the bathroom since you're calling me a liar.
So she's lying. Let me tell you something. Typically, when we go through what are we going to eat, I give her multiple things. I'll say, oh, so for instance, her birthday was the other week. And like I had this whole day planned out. I was like, we're going to go to a winery and we're going to go get food. I was more leaning to hibachi. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, let me get all this taken care of. So she had a long day. And like it was just real long. Like I even had to be at work at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was a Saturday. They had homecoming, so I was like, all right, cool. So we're going through. I'm like, all right, well, like she comes home, she's exhausted. I'm like, well, love, I could eat like hibachi. We could go get some steaks. We could go anywhere. Like I start going down the list. She goes, that don't really sound good, or that doesn't. Dog, we ended up going to Sheets. She wanted swings. So I don't want to hear, I don't be rifling off suggestions.
No,
I said, surprise me, because we literally have a list. We have a list in our phones of what we like to eat or like typical orders. So if you want to make something, cool. If you know what I like to eat, cool. I'll do it. Just like I know she likes steak. Like obviously she likes steak, but she likes her steak a certain way. I tell her all the time, I'll make the steak how you like it. Just tell me. She goes, no, you can just make it regular. Cool. Just make the decision on what you want to eat then. Don't tell me you're ready to cook or you want to cook today and you don't have an idea what you want to make. Because then I'm gonna tell you, surprise me, because it's 9 in the morning. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I don't know what I'm eating for lunch, let alone what I'm eating for dinner.
Can we go to the next question? Because we can talk about food all
That's
day.
the only thing that I agree upon is it's 9 in the morning. I don't even know what I'm eating for lunch. I know what I want for dinner. Yeah, I was thinking about it the night before.
All you need to do was 3 options.
That's the biggest challenge in relationships.
At 9 a.m., it's going to change by 5 p.m.
That's true.
I want pancakes, bacon, and eggs, and guess what? By 5 p.m., I want Ruth Chris.
Exactly. You never know. But that's what I'm saying. The palate's change. That's why mine does. I'd be like, what I wanted 2 hours ago, I don't want now.
What you thought you wanted 5 minutes ago, you don't want 5 minutes later.
I don't. And don't get me started on these restaurants that we used to go to when they changed their recipes. I'm not going back.
That's her favorite thing. They changed their recipe. That's how I RIP to that restaurant. Because
we ain't going back. Once I say that and I say, ooh, they changed their recipe, we're not coming back. Our services are no longer there.
The recipes.
No,
we're
absolutely.
Done.
So when we come to Pittsburgh, expect not to go to Fridays.
Oh, we don't go to. I don't go to Fridays.
Yeah,
no.
Fridays did go down. Yeah, once they changed the menu stuff.
Hold on. Time out. Fridays didn't go down when you stopped going.
Fridays been Sorry,
You
pardon my
stopped.
French. Friday's been ass.
You stopped going when they changed the recipe on.
They changed their potato skins.
Yeah.
And therefore, me and my family, we do not patronize at Friday.
But that was years before Fridays went down. Probably a
and
decade
I stopped
before.
eating there.
You know what? Their potato skins did go down. I'll give you that.
Yep. They used to have really good potato skins. And then once they changed their little nasty recipe to the one they got now, they lost my business.
Because we went there.
Remember the little chicken, that special like barbecue sauce that they have? What is it? Is that barbecue?
The Jack Daniels, I think it is sauce.
So I always just get the tenders with the Jack Daniels sauce, like, and then they're come out burnt. I gotta send them back every time.
See, it's a real thing. Yeah, no. And I can taste when they change recipes on stuff. So I'm counting on certain restaurants like Wingstop not to change their ranch, because once they change their ranch, I'm out of there indefinitely. I'm done. I can't.
You have to get their Louisiana rub. That is fire. We get it. We haven't had it in a while, but when we get it, it never misses. Never misses.
I'm one of those that sticks to the basics. I don't like to change up what I usually get, because then if I don't like it, I'm going to be pissed. And I don't want to waste my money, because then I'm going to really be pissed.
Anisha, that's not true.
You know.
You go to restaurants all the time, and you will be, I'll say, stick to the basics.
And I'm like.
And then you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me get this. And it's nasty.
And I'm like, I don't like it.
And I said, we're coming back here, and you're going to get a basic meal. Like, stick to the basics. Oh, well, they got chicken tenders. Oh, I'm going to go for this, like, this lobster thingy or whatever, like, that you never, ever eat. And you're just like, let me be adventurous. No. Don't do that.
The problem is, I think I'm like on a TV show, like a Housewives TV show or something like that. Like, cameras are recording me, so I have to try all these extravagant things and not be basic. So I try all these food trying to think that I'm just like a gourmet person, and that's what I like, and it be nasty.
Not at all.
So
I'll say she'll try more things than I do. But like I guess we've been trying to.
Yeah, I feel like usually if we go to like places that we always go, we always get the same things. We're not switching.
I will say she made me into a big Applebee's person, because they have that deal at, what time is it? Like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. for appetizers.
Oh yeah, the appetizers. I love Applebee's appetizers.
Yeah.
When we started dating, that's all we went to was Applebee's. Yeah. We used to be up in there in that thing like swimwear. Applebee's was the way to go.
For sure.
Okay. Now we're Dave & Buster's, but you know.
Dave & Buster's is trash.
Ooh.
But after I seen their bathrooms, I said we won't go back in there. Absolutely not.
That's the Pittsburgh location.
Probably, yep.
That's the waterfront location.
Yeah, y'all gotta come out.
Ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, the food was hot, because I remember I had that salad. Whatever you was gonna get, they was out of that day. You ended up getting something else.
Yeah, and then we had the people. They
then we went upstairs to play the games. I went to that bathroom. I said, we won't be back.
Yeah, no, we're saving up coins to get a PS5 from there. So
yeah,
really,
we doing real good. I don't know why you laughing. We doing real good.
Really, what Dave & Buster's needs to do is just sponsor us and then just give us the points to get the PS5. But you know,
they could do that. Let's see.
They could do that.
So we just went the other day. We are at level 5. We're icon status.
Oh wow!
You get freebies when you do.
Yeah, you get freebies when you actually do this stuff.
We have like I think close to 40,000 points.
We have 38,792 tickets.
Wow.
Yeah. How many do you need for the PlayStation?
160,000.
Wow.
We're almost there. We're close.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're dedicated.
Yeah, we're almost there. It's fine.
So we take one card, we load it up, we go in and we play specific games, and we'll get about 3,000 tickets every time we go.
Have you ever calculated how much money you're spending on the tickets? Because you already got the PS.
I don't want that negativity in my life.
Rebecca, it's about the journey, not the sprint. It's about the journey, not the destination. You know, so we're doing it together. Yeah, we're gonna spend more money in buying tickets and tokens.
To be fair though, I don't know though, because we like to go on the half night game nights
on Wednesdays.
So Wednesdays they have it where the games are half price, and then when you keep getting on these new levels, they give you stuff. So like this new level that we just reached, we got 100 tokens for free, because technically not for free. I mean, we paid and then we play, but you get them every single time you get to new levels. So hopefully, maybe they will just go ahead and just give it to us. I don't know.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
That's why you have the Dave and Buster's. So when I'll give you all these because we're not going to end up going. These are just those cards or whatever. Since I work at the UFC gym, they gave us these like cards that have like 90, I guess, tokens or something on there. So y'all could.
I'm itching now. I need that.
I'll give y'all these.
It's like a gambling problem.
Yeah, because we're not going to go. Like we don't like we live so close to the waterfront, and we're not going. I'd rather us go out to freaking Wexford and do something out there before we go down to the dirty waterfront of Dave and Buster's.
The dirty waterfront.
That was our first date. To Dave and Buster's at the waterfront.
At the waterfront. Yep.
Listen, I still remember when Adam called me and said, "Bro, should you think I should move with her?" I said, "Well, do you love her?" He goes, "I think I do."
I think I do.
I said,
Get back on track. Come on.
So we got 2 segments for you guys before we get to the rapid round. Well, 2 segments left. The first one is the couples question. So this is a question that our audience, well, not our audience. This is a question that the last couple gives to whoever's going to go next, and they don't know who's going next. So they just leave a question, and then they're going to listen in for the response.
And then you guys are going to leave a question for the next one.
Yeah, but we'll do that off. We'll get your question off camera. So their question was, how do you plan on loving your partner through the transitions and changes of life?
You want us to both answer?
Yes, solo.
You can go first. I already know how I'm going to answer.
I would just say, honestly, just being able to grow with your partner and realizing, like, I think we kind of talked about it earlier today, is like, you're not going to be dating the same exact person or marry the same exact person forever. Like, everybody's going to change, like, whether it's in good ways, bad ways, and you just have to kind of stick through them through every step. Because I know we've done a lot of changes, like, good and bad. And just like knowing that, you know what I mean, I seen like change in him. It's all been good though. So it's like, I'm very proud of it. He's seen change in me where there's areas where he's like, oh, I don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? So it's just like being with your partner and just knowing that like everybody's going to grow and change. Just like 25-year-old me or 25-year-old Ron is not what we're going to get with each other for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And can you repeat the question so I could give you the exact answer?
Yeah. How do you plan on loving your partner through the transitions and changes of life?
Something.
No, let me go. So I think, because I mean, we went through different periods of just your life of what you've been going through.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest ways that I've continued, no matter what she's going through, I've learned to, when she vents about it, to not give my thought or opinion on it, because that's not what she's asking.
Ooh.
She's literally she wants to vent. I don't need to respond. I don't need to add my input. I just need to be supportive. So I think through any different trial that she expects to go through, the most I need to do is 1, be there, 2, have her back, because just because you're there doesn't mean you have the person's back, and 3, have that landing ear to give her, because again, just because she wants to express to me about something that's frustrating her or something that's going on doesn't mean she wants me to give her a response. Because as we talked before, I have the way I go throughout life is a lot different than how she would go throughout life. So I may say something to try to pick her up and be like, you know what, like you could do it, but it doesn't come out that way. And she may take it like, oh, I'm being unsupportive. Oh, I don't have her back. So it's like I've learned to honestly just lend that ear and be supportive. You know, that's my biggest thing.
And I would you
go.
And I would say like another thing is just like patience, like through it all. Like I was very, like, I've been very, very patient with Ron, and he's very, very patient with me. On some days, it doesn't feel like we have patience for each other, but that really, like, is the key. If there is, like, a part in life where you hit and you're just like, whoo, like, this has been rough, or, you know what I mean, I'm just ready to, you know what I mean, turn the page on this. It's just, like, having patience and just staying consistent.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right, so my last question, and then he's going to do rapid fire with you guys. What's next for your relationship?
You want me to start? You want to say my hopes?
Whoever wants to take that one
my
away.
hopes. Well, I'm ready for my housewife era. I'm ready. I told Ron, I was like, I mean, I don't have any kids, but I was like, I will have as many kids as I want to have, like 5, 6 kids. But like, I know in this day it's probably not happening, but genuinely, like, I think I'm just ready for like the next. I feel like we're finally there. I told him, I was like, I'm just like very happy that we had time for just us. Like, and we didn't try to, like, you know, rush in, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, we're having a baby, or we try to, like, move far away. Like, we just had time just for us, and we're really, like, still enjoying that. And I think we're being a little bit too selfish with it. It's, like, just me and him, like, all the time. But I will say, like, just, you know, looking at, like, in a few years and things like that, I'm ready to have a family.
Adam, you can put your glasses on the opposite way again, because boy, that threw me for a loop.
Well, Ron, we're being realistically, those are like my fantasy dreams. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I would have 10 kids, but realistically, 10 I would want 2 or 3, just because I come from a big family, and I just know how, like, having, like, how my brothers and sisters, like, mean to me. Now, Ron is just like, him and Evan, like, they have a good bond and thing, but I don't think he's always, like, knowing, like, how many people's, like, around, just like in my family, like, there's tons of kids. Like, I just have a lot of immediate family, and that's just kind of how I want my kids to feel. I just don't want to have one and be done, but who knows? I could be that person. I have one and be like, absolutely not. I'll go see my nieces and nephews for this, but
1 is a choice, 2 is a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
No, it's 3. Isn't 3 a lifestyle change?
Or is 1 is a choice, 2 is an accesssory, 3 is a lifestyle change.
Yeah. And beyond that, you're just asking for.
Asking. I honestly think the next step in our life. I don't know why she just jumped straight to housewife.
She sure did.
She just jumped straight to housewife, which is insane to me. That I would say definitely marriage is definitely in our future. And then I'd like to see where we go from there. Clearly, if I was able to afford a housewife type of lifestyle, sure, go right ahead, you know. However, the way this economy is going nuts and the way that these interest rates are, it's very different. But marriage is definitely in our future. But that would, shoot, if that's the case, I want to be a house husband. How about that? You could.
Oh my God.
We'll applaud on house husband.
I want to be a house husband if that's the case.
My God, no.
But no, all seriousness, I do believe marriage is in our future, and you know, I mean, when that time comes, it comes. You know, there's no timetable on love. You know, it's all about when it's right for everybody. You know, just not one person.
You guys gonna stay in the area, or you guys gonna move? You guys gonna stay in Pittsburgh?
We actually don't know. We went to and she could even speak for this. So we went to DC for my birthday a few years ago, and like ultimately, like, since I'm an accountant and she could teach anywhere, like it does, it's just like, that's beautiful, that's prime, that's like a prime location. But then we start looking at like the prices to live down there, very, very expensive. So it's not saying that's something that won't happen. Like, she'll always say that she doesn't think like our dream house is here in Pittsburgh or in PA. I just don't know. You know, I don't close no doors or no options, because anything could happen. Again, the way this house market is right now, it is insane. Like, Adam will tell you, like, I'm like me, like there's times me, Adam, and Bum are in a text message group, and Bum will say something, and then like it will be something about a house, like interest rates on houses are at its all time high at the moment, and it needs to come down. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I mean,
I think personally, just looking at it, if we did ever move far away, it would be like definitely when our kids would be very old, because Ron loves his mom, and I think he wants to stay very close to what, you know what I mean. We love being so close to them, but also just like I want to make sure that, you know, once we have a family, they can see, like, again, I have probably 10 nieces and 5 nephews that they're still around, they're growing up. I don't want to be that distant family, like, oh, Aunt Becky's in town. My sister, she only lives 3 hours away, and like I can always see, just like, I don't want to say necessarily the guilt, but she always feels like she's like missing out. She's like, oh, I'm here, like we're making a life here on our own, but it's just like when we have like family gatherings and she can't make it, it's just like, oh my, I just like wish I was closer. And I was like, you know, they still live in the same state. I was like, you're only 3 hours, so I couldn't imagine, you know, if we moved down south somewhere and we have to catch a flight just to see our family.
I will also say, I think the biggest fear for me is the simple fact that I've seen people go through this, and it's a struggle that I don't want. It's like trying to figure out how to make things work in the sense of we're down there by ourselves. It's like with the cost of everything going up, it's like again, my fear is like not having that help, right? Like not saying like if we moved to like I don't know, let's say like New York for just an example. Not saying like if we came home, like our parents wouldn't watch the kids and whatnot, but it's the simple fact on the day to day of how are we getting little Ronnie or little Rebecca to point A and point B, right? Or like how are we going to make this work? You know, like her mother's only an hour away. My mother's only about 25, 30 minutes away. It's like, it's the simple fact that we have family here that we'd be able to make something happen and be able to still live a life. You know, I don't want us to stop living after we have a child or children at that point, because a lot of people get lost in their kids, and ultimately their relationship or their marriage takes a big step back. And it's like, I still want us to be able to get them same butterflies when we see each other. And I still want us to actually walk in and be happy after we see each other after a long day of work, and not be like, oh, dang, we got more responsibilities at the house. That's not going to change. So my biggest fear is just not having the help, because again, you don't want to lose in touch with the person you love over something that you guys both made.
I think you end up figuring it out, right? Like you just make it work. I know because we went from being
8 hours away. Well, it was longer than that when we lived in Virginia.
Nine from your parents. What? Maryland to Pittsburgh was probably 5 minutes, something like that. So, like we just had to make. I mean, we still don't have a child, but you know, we got a
dog, and they take care of him. So
I'm waiting for baby Leaper, dog. That's what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for baby Leaper.
That's probably gonna be around the same time that y'all you propose.
Get
married.
So
how about that? We waiting on that.
We waiting on the ring.
How about that?
It'll be about the same time, okay? We'll do it around that time.
What's the time? Because I need to know. I won't say he won't lift up, and I've been given like real basic, like just I'm like, could you just answer this, yes or no? And he's like, no, I'm not.
And then she'll get mad at me, like, sit down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I had to tell Anisha this before I proposed. That proposal day is not.
It's not about you, Rebecca.
It's not your day.
It's not your day.
It's not.
Facts.
What people don't realize is that getting proposed to is not the day.
It's not the day for the
person
woman.
Who's
the person who's getting proposed to.
Who's
it's
getting
not.
proposed. It's not your day. It's the day of the person who's choosing to.
I take that back. Not the woman. It's whoever's getting proposed to. Sorry.
You took it back.
Grammatically correct.
Right. It's the person who's getting down on one knee.
Yes, it's
and
their
is saying,
day.
I want to live the rest of my life with you. It's their day.
It is.
You're just the recipient of it.
I wasn't trying to make it about me. I just wanted to know, just like a general, like, hey, we talking about 5 years? We talking about next year? Just a very basic, like, literally basic questions.
I'm not telling you that because
then you get mad that you knew some stuff. Right. Trust me.
Well, I think everyone that I know that got engaged, like, they've had a feeling. Like, you know, it might have not happened that day, but they're just like, oh, I know. Like, you know, even when my sister got engaged, I very much, like, I try to keep it from her, but I was like, oh, she definitely knows she's getting engaged today. Like, there was just no...
And you'll know too, so relax.
Yeah, I talked to your mom knew. Like, you know, it's just like...
My mom knows. Yeah. I've talked to Adam about it. I've talked to Bum about it. Everybody has some sort of idea of, they know I'm going to propose. Don't nobody know the exact day, but it's going to happen when it happens. So
you want it to be more of a surprise. Trust me. Like, you don't want it to be that you start piecing stuff together, because then it's not going to be, I don't want to say it's not going to be as authentic, but
it's not.
It's kind of not. Like, personally, Adam told me, we got into a little spat this one day when we were out at my parents' house, and he goes, you acting like this, like I didn't just ask your father for your hand in marriage.
Oh, well.
I said, excuse me?
Acting up.
Adam's out of pocket. Adam, let me tell you something.
Adam, like, that'd be okay with me, because I'm like, oh, I don't know if you're gonna do it tomorrow or in like 2 years, because either way.
No, but you got to think about it. When they say that, then that means that it's coming up.
Yeah,
but either way, like, it didn't matter if you would have asked my dad when you first met him. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it necessarily matters when you asked them.
It kind of. It kind of does.
It do kind of matter.
Kind of matter. Like, you're definitely within. You're within a certain time frame.
Now it's coming. You know, you only have 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30.
You're in striking distance, fam.
Like, right.
Yeah. At that point, that's like when the ball starts rolling. So once he told me that, I was like, every time we come to Toledo now, I'm gonna think that you're proposing.
So,
and now I can't get that out of my brain. Because anytime you get down to tie your shoe, I'm going to be like, it's happening. And it's not even going to be that. So that you told me that, now I'm pissed.
And we had to keep it from, I had to keep it from certain family members of hers, because some people can't hold water. So there's only certain people that I can tell, or that I could tell at the time.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't get back to her.
But his whole idea had to change, because he told me that little bit of it, that little piece of information, and he had to change everything.
Location.
Because I was like, yeah, now every time we go, I'm going to be like, let me put on my Sunday's best, because your girl's getting hitched. And I just wanted to be prepared.
Because it was supposed to be in Ohio.
It was.
And then we had to change it to
because he said that dumb mess. He did. Trying to be funny inside of an argument. Mm-hmm. And I'm a comedian. So
let's try it. What he thought was Adam has this.
No, he wasn't thinking.
No, I'm gonna tell you what he thought. He thought it was gonna have you stop.
Yeah.
From your bickering. But what he doesn't realize is that he opened up a new door of Pandora's box.
Now you got me mad. Now you got me even more mad.
It was shape up or ship out.
He was like, he thought that I was gonna stop in my tracks and be like, oh, babe.
That's exactly what he thought. That's exactly what he thought.
And you know,
see, I would have been all proud, be like, okay, we're on board. See, even if Ron, you would have got the thumbs up from me.
No, I would have been like,
I'm like, all right, I need to make sure like nails, lashes are done. I'm like, it's coming up soon. Let me just get on my toes.
No, I was pissed. You can ask him. I looked at him and I said, now why would you tell me that? And he was like,
well, wait, let me ask, did you know, like, did you have a feeling it was coming, or did you have no, like...
No. I had told him I wanted this to be, I don't want to know nothing. I said, I don't want to know nothing. This man was not as slick as he thought he was. I saw the box. I saw the ring box because he was like, "Can you please go on my phone and text so and so?" And it's sitting right there.
Hold on. You didn't see the box.
I saw the Zales box.
You didn't see the box.
And I saw the text message that said, "I got the ring."
Time out. You didn't see the box because the message that you saw, we were on our way to the 4th of July weekend with your parents.
The same weekend that he asked my dad for my hand in marriage.
The ring didn't come until August because it was on back order.
Oh, so then I saw the text message of him saying, "I got the ring."
I got the ring, meaning I purchased it. She thought I had it. She never once found that ring because I put it in a spot in my car, my Hyundai, rest in peace, where she
you left
hated.
The ring in your car?
So I put it. There was a tote sitting in my trunk, and the trunk button was broken, so you couldn't even open up the trunk. And I hid it inside of that tote, deep in there. She hated getting in that car unless she was a passenger. She would not.
I can't drive stick shift, so
she
I
couldn't
wasn't
drive
getting
stick.
in it.
So there was no point in her trying to get in my car. So I knew she was never gonna find the ring.
But do you know how risky that was, though? That you had to get that ring out of there, and you proposed, and then that same like couple days after your car caught on fire.
Gotta risk.
Yeah,
that's literally nuts. Could you imagine if? Yeah, you would have been messed up.
Well, it wasn't in the glove box; it was in the trunk. So I would have got it way before if my car caught on fire prior to us me actually proposing.
Anyways, but like we're saying, just you don't want to know nothing. Don't let him tell you nothing. Just leave it.
I'm not, and again, like surprises, but not when they're for me.
Well, too bad, Buttercup. Next question.
Everything's gonna be a surprise, regardless. I mean, you're gonna have to be the center of attention this whole time. Because think about it, you getting proposed to. Technically, it's his day. You still gonna have a bridal shower. That's about you. A bachelorette party. That's about you. And your wedding day. That's definitely about you. And then once you have kids, it's all gonna be about you too. So you're gonna have to just get used to it, Buttercup. That's it.
The kids definitely 9 months of pop.
Yeah. So everybody's gonna be worried about you. So I mean, you're gonna have to get used to it for, once you get engaged, and then however long y'all plan on planning. It's okay. My brother and my sister-in-law don't like being the center of attention, and at their wedding, they barely was on the dance floor. People was dragging them out.
See, Ron loves it, so it keeps us balanced. Because now
we know he do. Because we know he does. Because this man do too. So
yep. He loves it.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna be at your wedding.
Hey.
All right, let's get to this rapid fire round. So they kind of answered the first one, but we'll do it anyways.
The idea
of the rapid fire round is you get, let's say, like 5 seconds. 5 seconds to answer.
3. They only need 3.
Oh, sorry, 3 seconds to answer.
They really only need 1.
So it's quick.
Ooh.
Gut reactions, quick answers, and we're gonna hit it right now. So who made the first move?
Me.
Ron. You just kind of go, yeah, maybe.
Who said I love you first?
Me.
Who's the better cook?
Me.
Whoa,
interesting.
You cook more now.
I cook better.
He cooks more better. Now.
Okay. Who's the better driver?
Wait.
Who's the better driver?
Dang.
Who's more organized?
Are you?
We're like honestly the same. I would say me by a smidge because we're pretty much the same when it comes, but me by a smidge because there are certain things where I'm like, I have to have a certain way. And he's like the same way, like with his shoes, they have to.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say.
With his shoes, I was thinking he'd probably be.
That's why I said, are you?
But neither one of us are neat freaks. But I will say by probably like 2%. I just have to be.
Right. Okay. Next question. It's a rapid round.
Yeah.
Who has the better fashion sense?
Me.
I gave you drip. I gave you drip.
Spell drip before you got with me.
Time out. She did. She did. Well, it was one day. It was you, myself, and Bum hanging out at your house before your parents got the new one, and you were showing us the clothes that she bought you. She had bought you a.
She don't even be having it like that. She don't have no drip.
I gave him drip because
this was like
drip.
Yeah.
This was like her graduation gift.
I gave you drip. We'll go back and forth with this. I gave
birds of a feather flock together because I gave him drip.
Yeah.
I don't deny it.
He don't deny it.
Because what's the
So
point
y'all
of arguing?
outfits must have really been ass if that's the case.
Yeah.
Who? I've always been a dresser. Always. A real stepper.
His whole closet was True Religion jeans.
That's not a stepper.
Big stepper.
I've always been the biggest stepper.
All right. Who chooses where to go for dinner?
Probably. It might be equal. We kind of agree.
Who wakes up first?
Me.
Yeah. I really like the way he wakes up because I always feel like, not that I'm in a rush, but he will wake up. He'll have an hour to watch a show before he'll literally take a shower, sit down for 45 minutes, get up, gets his clothes, sits down for 45 minutes, watches a show. Then, it's just, I don't know, it's just programmed. And I wish I could be like that.
So what she just talked about was longer than an hour. But, however, we're going to keep going on. I get
my dad like that, though.
You have, a lot of time. It feels like
you got time.
Yeah.
You ain't rushing to get out the house and forgetting stuff. Who's funnier?
Me.
You will sound hilarious. So
You will
sound. You're love. You're hilarious.
No, you be hilarious.
Love, you're hilarious.
There's things you do and it be so serious, and I just I look at you like there is no way you're this funny.
I think with us, if he's more funny if he's physically trying to tell jokes or make people laugh. The things that I do, people will just laugh at me. Like, what are you doing, Rebecca?
Yes, that's why she's funny.
That.
But I'm definitely the funnier one.
All right, who has the better taste in music?
I'm
gonna say
old
me.
school. I'm gonna say me because he listens to this new stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that at 8:00 in the morning. Like, beep this, beep that.
Beep that.
Hey, she'll put on Country Roads at 7:00 in the morning while she's getting dressed.
He gets mad because I listen to Michael Jackson.
No, I don't.
I just old school music.
No, she'll put on country music real quick. Like, nobody want to hear this.
Country music?
She'll put on country music. Like,
you're kidding.
I hear that.
You're airing me out. So there are certain times, I don't know why, but no one does it around me. But I'll just be when I'm in the shower, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna play the country station on the radio.
No.
On PM.
At 8 in the morning is diabolical.
In the morning, dog. She'll be in that shower.
But also listening to beep this, beep that early in the morning is kind of crazy too.
First of all, I'm not listening to beep this, beep that early in the morning either. She just don't like the music in general.
Yeah, I don't want to hear cuss word after cuss word. I'm I'll instantly get, and I think my mom is like that too. My mom generally just doesn't like listening to music, but the minute she hears a swear word, she's like, turn that off. So I'm kind of like that when I'm in the car, when I repeatedly hear it's just inappropriate stuff. I'm like, get that off, and I'm annoyed at that point.
No, I don't want to hear country. That's one thing I will never listen to.
Never listen to country in the car. That's just me if I'm doing something
in the car.
It's crazy. All right, who has the better taste in movies?
Me. Because she don't watch. She don't really watch
I fall
stuff.
asleep. Yeah, he knows every show, every single movie. I fall asleep.
Oh my god.
And last question, who is more romantic?
Oh.
I say I do a lot more romantic stuff.
So
okay.
he's gotten, so I've been romantic since the jump. I've always I will say he's gotten so there are small things I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? I didn't think you would think of that. So I think you've gotten a lot better. But if we're talking about the span of us knowing each other, I'm the more romantic person. I will say the last couple years, I'll give him it. But just in general, it's me. Yeah, it's me.
Nah. If anything, we'll agree it's 50-50. We'll agree.
So
I'm tired of this 50-50.
50-50. What's the most romantic thing Rebecca has done for you? And then what's the most romantic thing Ronnie has done for you?
I think the most romantic thing...
There's a lot. I don't think I could just nail it down to one thing. But it's
I think the biggest thing she did for me, I mean, it wasn't it was a date night or anything like that. It was a Christmas present. It was more of the compassion behind the gift she got me is because my grand passed away, and she put all these pictures in this cube, and I have it in my office. And that's probably the biggest romantic thing because it was just it was such a hard time, and she took the kindness out of her heart and made that. So that's probably the most romantic thing that she's done romantic things other than that, but that's probably the most romantic thing that I take very much. So
I feel like I can't say just one, but the thing I appreciate most is like the notes. Like Ron is like very, very thoughtful. It's like hard for me to like put words on paper. I don't know, I'm just bad at it. But when he writes me just like literally notes, it could be like a gift or just little like he'll leave me a note when I come back from work, and I really like appreciate those. I want to say that's the most romantic thing he's done, but those are the things that I like enjoy the most.
And not knowing what he wants for dinner, but that's okay.
Crazy.
The shade is crazy. Anisha has a theory, and we'll finish with this, that the man has to, for the relationship to really last.
Oh no, that's not a theory. That was, somebody said it, and I was like, huh, that's actually kind of true.
She said it the other day. For the relationship to be really strong and last, the man has to love his partner more,
just a little bit
more than his partner loves him.
You can have a conversation with it.
Look, we'll go back and forth all the time, and I'll be like, I love you more, or whatever. And she'll be like, love, you don't even know how much I love you. I'm in my head like, that means nothing when I know for a fact I love you more. Like, literally love you more. And she'll try to die on that hill like, no, you don't. All right, woman, what you want to eat?
Yeah.
No, yeah, we definitely understood that.
Part of me does feel like it can't be like 50-50. You know, there is someone that needs, I don't want to say, like, I don't even know if, like, love more, like, care more, but just one person that's, like, a little bit, just, like, a smidge, and that's me.
Yep.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Me. And that's me.
She just got to win something. She wants to win it.
No, she just wants to win something. You got to let her get a participation award.
Not participation.
Her participation award is her ring.
There you go.
You see what type of friends you are?
Get that ring.
We've been pulling for Rebecca's ring for some years now. So
she's still sitting on the bench. Put her in, coach.
Put her in the game, coach.
She's the star player.
I used to say that all the time. Before he even proposed, he'd ask me to do something. I'm like, there's no ringy on my fingy. I'm still riding the bench. Put me in, coach.
I think I'm starting, like, I noticed the last couple months I'm starting to do the, like, smart comments, and he's getting annoyed with it, but I'm also like, come on now.
I'm like, that's wife duties. I'm a girlfriend. What are we doing here? And he'd be like, you right, there's no ringy on your fingy. I'd be like,
Your free trial has expired.
Hey, pay $5.99 for the next
right. Now it's time for the monthly payments.
Yeah, welcome to death row. Absolutely.
Death row. Lord
it's
Jesus.
okay.
30% off for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done with Rapid? Is there more questions?
I don't know.
Yeah, Rapid is over. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and hang out with us. We're going to have to definitely spin the block on this when
you guys get engaged and then
when
married.
You get married, because we want to follow the transitions. We'll have to do this in person to one of these ones, but
that's cool.
Other than that, do you have any last words, any final thoughts for the podcast?
Thank you for having us.
I would
absolutely.
I'd say continue to grow. Don't stop doing what you're doing. As Adam knows, me and Bum, we're doing the whole YouTube shenanigans with our videos. At a point in time, you may feel like you're hitting a wall. Find other ways to honestly expand what you're doing. You know, I love what you guys got going on right now for the podcast. Obviously, you know, I care deeply about y'all, so I'm always supporting from all the way over here. But again, there's going to come a time where you feel like everything you're going over is repeated. You may feel like you're getting bored with what you're doing, and you may feel like there's not many other outlets to what you guys are looking to do. Just find other ways. You know, if it's even, again, going on YouTube. I already know you're doing the podcast. It's hitting all platforms, so it's fine. Like you said, try start doing more face-to-face interviews. That might be something people want to do, or even do, I don't know, have it like do like a just find different ways. I mean, there's different ways to go about things like this, but whatever you do, don't stop.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an amazing episode on the Lovely Podcast, and we'll catch everybody on the next one.
Bye.